Welcome everybody. Week 19 of midweek meditation. I like to start by acknowledging the original inhabitants of the land that I live on in Redwood City, California, the Lamshan tribelet of the Ramaytush dialect of the Ohlone Costanoan people. And if you're new or newish to meditation, I invite you to honor whatever your experience is. There's no place to go. This is a lifelong practice. We're cultivating mindfulness. We're cultivating open heart and reduced anxiety and lots of benefits that come from using meditation as a spiritual practice. Any questions that you may have, feel free to contact me through my website or Wendie at wendielash.com, but you have to make sure you spell it with an IE. Today, we're going to focus our meditation on forgiveness, and I'm actually going to do the same meditation for those of you who are with us in week 8 of this meditation series, which has a beginning but no end at this point. So you may be comfortable with that. We did it early on because it just was speaking to me that week. And for the month of Elul, this is our work to be looking at where are we needing to forgive, where are we needing to forgive ourselves, needing to forgive others, needing to give forgiveness, doing that work, doing our deep reflective work so that when we reach Rosh Hashanah and then the 10 days between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, we can really just do the final touches of that and do our asking for forgiveness from that which is beyond us, which many name God. So we are not just kind of looking at forgiveness in context. It doesn't mean condoning something that somebody did that caused us pain. It doesn't mean condoning other people, even if they didn't cause us pain. But it's choosing to not bring into the present, to not have our hearts and our minds be held hostage to something that happened in the past, so that we can live more fully and more freely in the present, and not have our regrets or our the stories that we tell us hold us hostage to living in the now. One of my mentors, Sylvia Borstein, has a lovely saying. She actually says she learned it from her Jewish grandfather, although she shares it freely among Buddhist meditation circles, is that we choose to realize that people are doing the best that they can in any moment, even if somebody does something painful and hurtful to us, that if they could have done better in the moment, they would have. And so we're just acknowledging the human condition of people are always, and we are always doing the best that we can in any particular moment. We can strive to do better. That's what this whole reflective practice, this whole month of Elul is about, is where did we miss the mark? Where could we be better? And then recognizing that we did the best that we could. Somebody else did the best that they could in that moment. There is a relationship, obviously, between forgiveness and the word teshuvah, which we use a lot. When I was growing up, and many of you still may have it in your mindset that it gets translated into English as atonement, but it is really a turning and a returning process. And so we're returning either to our higher self, the core of who we are. We're letting go of being off the path and turning back onto a path. There's a lot of different ways that we can look at teshuvah and forgiveness. And actually, Judaism talks about forgiveness being an ongoing practice, and we do it very deeply in the month of Elul, but it can be, and maybe should be a daily practice. We have the evening Shema, where we, if you do that as a traditional practice, you look at your day, you forgive anybody who did anything wrong to you, and you forgive yourself for any way that you might have missed the mark. Many people read during this time of year Rabbi Ellen Liu's book, who was a deep Zen practitioner. In fact, he wrote a great memoir about being on the path to become a Zen priest when he rediscovered his Judaism. But he wrote his last book before he passed away was called This Is Real, and You Are Completely Unprepared. And it's all about this time that we're in. Actually starts back with Tisha B'Av and leads us through this whole series of times and holidays all the way to Sukkot. And one of the things that he says is that Teshuvah involves a return to knowing that we are all part of the one, that we all share a heart. And I think that's really beautiful. And I've already decided what my meditation for the last week of Elul will be next week, which will be my favorite practice, which is metta, or loving kindness, so that we can see the connection between Teshuvah and sharing a heart. And he also says that to forgive can be seen as a commitment to release as much as we're able to those stories that tear at our minds and that constrict our bodies and keep us separate from being part of the whole and being part of the one. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Traditional forgiveness practice, we look at it in 4 directions. So we forgive an other person or others for their actions or the behavior that caused us pain. We forgive ourselves for ways that we caused pain or harm to another. We forgive ourselves for the harm that we've caused ourselves. And then on Yom Kippur, that's when we ask for forgiveness from God, or from forgiveness and return to our sense of being part of the divinity of the one. I will say that my own journey with forgiveness and forgiveness practice, and you may know this as well, as you can't force it. You can't say, just like when we have little kids, we'll say, okay, tell them you're sorry. And the kids are like, I'm sorry. It doesn't come when we're not ready for it to come. So what we're doing is we're cultivating the ground for that to happen. So as you do this practice today, if there's still somebody that you're not forgiving for the way that they treated you, that's okay. But you're cultivating some place, some fertileness for maybe in the future forgiving them. Because ultimately, when we hold on to resentment, when we hold on to pain for something in the past, we're continuing that harm. It's not being continued on us. We are bringing it forward. So we are the person that can release it. But if you're not ready to do that today, or you get it momentarily and then you take it back, that's just the way that the practice is. We get to keep working on it and keep meditating and keep training the mind to be forgiving, keep training the spirit to be forgiving. It's not a one-time action. And maybe you'll want to do this practice for the rest of Elul a few times, or not, or maybe you'll want to do it because some of us will or won't be going to the full litany of services. Maybe you want to do this as part of your Rosh Hashanah or Yom Kippur. Certainly it would be a beautiful practice to do during Yom Kippur. There's going to be 3 parts that I'm going to do today, leading you. The first part is forgiving someone else. And so pick a person, someone that's easy, someone that is really standing in for if there's somebody that's a little bit harder to forgive, or if you've got multiple people that you need to forgive. Again, we're cultivating the heart and mind, and that person is a stand-in for the practice which we are embodying. The second part is to forgive yourself for any way that you might have caused harm or pain to another. We hold on to those things, maybe even more so. I wish I'd said that, or I hadn't said that, or, just doing whatever comes to you as what it is that you want to forgive yourself for. And then the third part of this meditation, we're going to forgive ourselves for any harm that we've caused ourselves. And so sec 2 and 3 can sometimes be a little bit, you know, blended together, because we're continuing to feel badly about something that we said to someone, so we're continuing to cause harm to ourselves and not being forgiving of ourselves. But I trust that you will navigate this and have whatever experience that you have, and if it feels the same in part 2 and part 3, that's okay too. To start us off, I'm going to do a chant from a group in Israel called Nava Tehilla, and it's English. I'll start it off as a nigun, and then I'll move into the words, which are a desire to purify our hearts, to purify our spirits, and to be able to come back to that true neshama that is within each one of us, that pure neshama that we talk about, Elohai neshama shenatata bi tohorahi, the pure soul that is in me. She is within me. And then I'll lead us on some forgiveness meditation. We'll come back with the bell. I have one thing I'll read, and then I will blow the shofar, and that will be our time. And for those of you who want to stay in the Zoom, we can chat a little bit and answer questions and take comments. So get comfortable and settle in. Create a pure heart in me, Great Spirit. Create a pure heart in me. Create a pure heart in me, Great Spirit. Create a pure heart in me, and renew a true soul within me, and renew a pure soul within, and renew a pure soul within me, and renew a pure soul within. Create a pure heart in me, Great Spirit. Create a pure heart in me. Create a pure heart in me, Great Spirit. Create a pure heart in me, and renew a true soul within me, and renew a pure soul within, and renew a pure soul within me, and renew a pure soul within. Yet I, yet So take a nice breath in, filling up your lungs, and exhale and release. Another nice breath in. Think about widening your lungs and expanding front and back and deep down into your belly. And as you exhale, releasing all of it. Returning to your natural breath, its own rhythm, its own depth. And we bring ourselves with each breath a little bit more into the body, noticing the softness in the front of the body, in the belly, and in the chest. Noticing the back, which is strong. As we do forgiveness practice, we have the courage of a strong back and the gentle openness of a heart that wishes love and peace and forgiveness. So we hold those two at the same time. Soft, welcoming front, strong, grounded back. And just noticing the body sensations as you breathe, noticing your sits bones, noticing the pressure, noticing the pressure on your low back or your middle or upper back where you're sitting. Noticing the pressure on the feet, the places where the body creases in our hips, behind our knees, in our elbows. Noticing anywhere where the body is folded in or pressing on itself, maybe your hands on your legs or your hands one inside of another. Just allowing the sensations that are always there with us to be more in the front of our mind, being more present in the body. And if the mind wanders, as you notice it, simply bring it back to the breath, back to the body, letting go of where it wandered and returning to this practice. And so we bring to mind someone who we want to offer forgiveness to. Any person, that comes to mind where we know there's something small or something bigger. We know we're holding something in our heart where we don't have just a natural, warm, completely warm, compassionate feeling for them. Notice the thoughts or the story that comes along with the sense or the image of this person. What do you tell yourself about who they are, how they live, your interactions with them? And take the breath and see if you can concentrate it or concentrate your mind into the heart center of your body, inviting the heart to soften, to feel love and compassion, understanding for the challenge of being human. And we open up our heart to this person. And as we do that, we notice any barriers, any constriction, any walls, and acknowledge that, those protective places in the heart, on the heart, around the heart, that we've needed to protect ourselves from pain. Maybe pain with this person, it may be pain from other relationships and events in our life. We let ourselves feel and acknowledge whatever the heart has to offer us today. And you can ask yourself, what am I holding on to out of my own fear and pain? Around this story with this person, or something bigger, broader. In this internal, vulnerable, intimate place that no one else needs to disturb, you can open up to what is there for you. And ask yourself, if you can in this moment, to let go, to extend forgiveness to that one or to others from a kind heart, from an awareness of your own compassion and pain. Seeing if you can just let go and forgive. Stay with it in an embodied sense, or if you prefer, you can actually use some words. If there's a way that I have been harmed knowingly or unknowingly by another or others through their actions or words that have caused me suffering and pain, I know that I have carried this pain in my heart, and I wish to let it go. To the extent that I'm ready, I offer them forgiveness. And to anyone who's caused me harm, I offer my forgiveness. I forgive you. So take a few minutes to repeat whatever words are authentic for you, or to stay in the place of the heart center to offer forgiveness in whatever arises. Move to the second place of forgiveness. Forgiveness for ways that we caused harm to another. You can think of someone that you feel that you caused harm to, pain by your actions or words or thoughts or lack of action, lack of words, not thinking about. Either someone can come to mind, or it can be a general sense of honoring that none of us are perfect, and it is certain that through the last year, someone was inadvertently harmed by something that we did without being as careful or as thoughtful as we would have liked to have been. Breathe and notice any thoughts or stories that come to you as you bring to mind someone or the sense of your own imperfection that can cause pain and harm. We turn our attention to the heart center of the body, noticing the heart. And as we think about this person or the thoughts and stories that we have about ways that we may have or did cause any harm or pain to another, we notice the feelings around the heart. Acknowledging the pain, the emotions, the way our body carries this still, that which was in the past, we still carry feelings of regret, wishing things were other than they became or unfolded. And we invite a softening in the front of the heart, softening around the heart, letting go of those barriers, letting go of any story about ourselves. Feeling in touch with our compassion, our love. Asking yourself, is there anything I want to let go of? so that I can allow myself to forgive myself for what I might have done is my less skillful self. Softly breathing into the heart, breathing into anywhere else in the body, inviting yourself to let go. Release any pain that you continue to hold about the way that you spoke or acted or even thought. Acknowledging your imperfection as a human being. And you can stay there, embodied, inviting the heart to open and release anything that you're holding on to about your interactions with another that may have caused harm or pain. Or if you'd like some words, you can say, there are ways that I have harmed others, knowingly or unknowingly, through my thoughts, actions, or words that I know has caused pain and suffering. I have carried this pain in my heart, and I wish to let it go. For the ways I have hurt you, if it's a specific person, or for the ways that I may have hurt others, I ask for forgiveness. Take the next minute to continue to offer yourself forgiveness and invite in compassion and love. We move to the final area today, how we have harmed ourselves. So you may have a clear idea of this, ways that you act, how you treat your body, thoughts that you have, telling yourself some story Or it may just be a general sense of not honoring yourself as fully as you could for your unique way of being and seeing the world. So we breathe and focus into the heart area. Noticing any hardness or barrier to love and compassion flowing towards yourself in the stories or the thoughts that you have about yourself. Especially anything that has the word should in it. It's a good indication. And as we acknowledge what stops us from fully appreciating and loving ourselves, we invite the heart to soften and open, radiating love and compassion inward to ourself in all directions, anywhere that it's called. Acknowledging our imperfection, our humanity. Breathing softly, asking yourself to let go of any shoulds, maybe replacing them with I wish, I hope to, knowing that we want to be our best selves. Sending love, especially into any thoughts we still hold about our lack of wholeness and sacredness. And we close with the words, there may be ways I have hurt and harmed myself. I may have betrayed or abandoned myself through my thoughts, words, or actions, knowingly or unknowingly. And I've carried this pain for too long in my heart. I wish to let it go right now. I forgive myself. I offer full forgiveness to myself. I forgive myself. So we come back, and I'm running a little bit over on time, so I won't share the teaching with you. But I hope this practice was something that you will continue to carry as you work through your own teshuvah journey now in Elul and through the days of awe through to Yom Kippur. And the shofar is sounded every day in Elul to wake us up, and it certainly is going to wake us up. If you're in a lulled state through the meditation, but that's its job, is to wake us up to where there may be more work for us and where we may still be holding on to something. So I invite you to take this in as your wake up. For those of you leaving the stream and the recording, the divine in me and all of us acknowledges the divine in you, and may your Elul be fruitful. And we say, B'Tselem Yah.